Her name was Mildred Hellstrip, and at 10 months old, she was the youngest known victim of the night that has become known as the York Blitz. On the 29th of April 1942, York saw its worst night of bombing, one of the deadliest of the 11 raids during the Second World War. We're here at the train station now, which saw some heavy shelling, and yet despite this, 48 hours later, it was back up and running. This night was known as the Baedeker Raid, as part of the Baedeker Blitz, a second, more forgotten about blitz that occurred in 1942. It gets its name from the Baedeker Guidebook, a tour guide that Hitler and the Luftwaffe used to choose their targets after the German port town of Lübeck was attacked by the RAF. The other targets were Exeter, Norwich, Bath and Canterbury. 80 years on to this date, we remember those who tragically lost their lives like Mildred, but we also remember those who helped York fight back and get back on its feet. The first known raid on York was on the 11th of August 1940, where bombs damaged the Cross of Sacrifice in York Cemetery. The worst night, the Baedeker Raid, saw 92 people lose their lives in just 2 hours on the 29th of April 1942. Some 9,000 buildings were damaged. These included the Bar Convent, which saw its east wing bombed and 5 nuns killed. York Cathedral was miraculously unscathed. The last known raid on York was on the 17th of December 1942. By this time, Winston Churchill had wanted to minimise reporting of the raids to reduce the effect it had on British morale and to make the Germans know that it wasn't having that much of an effect. Today, we're here to commemorate those who lost their lives 80 years on in the York Blitz.
Welcome, and thank you all for joining us for this time of reflection and memorial. A special welcome to the Civic Party, to the Lord Mayor and the Lady Mayoress of York, Reverend Councillor Chris Culloch and Mrs Joy Culloch, together with the Sheriff of York, Ashley Mason. You are very, very welcome. 80 years ago on this day, April 29th, 1942, the city was reeling from what has been described as the worst night in its modern history, having suffered 90 minutes of air raids, which destroyed houses and buildings and killed around 100 men, women and children. It also left many more injured. It is commonly known as the York Blitz. Among those who sadly lost their lives were 2 gentlemen who were very much a part of our railway family. Station foreman William Milner and one of the railway police, Robert W. Smith. And we're here today to place a plaque in remembrance of them both. The morning after the bombs hit, the Daily Mail put it this way: the gates of York still stand high, like the spirit of its people, who after nearly 2 hours of intense bombing and machine gunning were clearing up today.
We now know a little bit more about the life of William Milner, thanks to new online sources and data sets that become available. We know that he started working for the North Eastern Railway back in 1919 as a messenger boy. And by 1921 he was a goods porter, and on the 1939 register he was a heavy goods porter and, of course, as we know, station foreman.
This is a poem that was written by a paratrooper who landed at Pegasus Bridge. They call it The Veteran. They ask us why we do it, why we still parade. Now we are getting older and just a little frayed. It's not for the sake of glory or the medals on our chest. It's simply we are comrades who stood the final test. On the 6th of June, that fateful day, a day we will never forget, Many a lad laid down his life and paid the final debt. So when you see a veteran, give the man your hand, for those medals on his chest were won in a foreign land. And when God asks the question, "Who are you, my man?" I will proudly answer, "Sir, I am a veteran."
Good morning. My name's Duncan Marks. I'm the Civic Society Manager at York Civics. It's a great pleasure for myself to do this in Baedeker Blitz today. Well, I'm the manager at York Civic Trust. I'm here today, a bit like John Shaw, really through part of the project team behind the Rate of York project. It's at least 3 years in the making, maybe longer, to be honest. This is the first of a series of plaques that we're hoping to work around 6 years. So it's a really special day for the project itself. I'm very, very grateful to LNER for sponsoring this plaque. Wonderful event that was on here today. That's a more visible tribute to Walter Milner and Robert Gillies. Without further ado, I'll unveil the plaque. Thank you very much. Okay. Here we are. Let's cross.